Welcome back to the Oi Rio Pro, an exciting day of competition as we had a little bit of delay with a hold and then got underway at 8:45 in the morning, got through our first elimination round of the contest and also finishing round 3 to set up our first 4 quarterfinalists on the women's side of the Oi Rio Pro. Welcome to the post show here on the beach at Gumati. Exciting to be here. Joe Turpel alongside 89 world champ Martin Potter.
Joe, big day.
A huge day. Strider, Raspberry Wazalewski from Santa Monica.
Love it. Controversy.
A little bit. A little bit of controversy thinking about the day and how it went. We went on that brief hold early this morning. Then the waves really started to show itself. What was the big difference from the wave quality yesterday to today, Potts?
I think just the size. Obviously a little bit smaller today. But, you know, in saying that, I think the shape was better today. There was a little less backwash. You know, I think it just allowed the women just to really attack the wave a little bit more. So we saw some high-performance surfing the entire day.
It's fun to watch, Strider, seeing some surfers really push it, especially in round 3. We saw a few reverses going down. How were you reacting to the big moves today?
I love the progression. I like to see the women taking it to the next level. You know, we saw, Joanne do that in her, I think it was a round 2 heat to get into round 3. She was pushing harder. You could see the fins coming out. You know, she said she worked on the rail game. She had to step it up. She knew it, and she did it. And that's what I love about the women. Their game is consistently progressing, and we're going to see that until they catch up to the men.
Really interesting when you look at round 2. We saw a lot of the usual suspects, top seeds, take wins. One of the big losses, though, Bianca Batendog, who finaled last year, is already out in round 2. That was a pretty shock elimination today.
Yeah, it was. But that's the nature of the beast. Competitive surfing. There's no guarantees. One day you're on top of the world, the next day you're losing in round 2. So that's what makes it so exciting. You just wake up every day and roll the dice. Sometimes we wish we had a crystal ball so we could read into it, but that's exactly why we love our sport of surfing.
Well, before leaving the beach today, we came off a super heat of world champions. 6-time world champ Stephanie Gilmore just sent Carissa Moore and Laura Enever into round 4. Steph is with Kaipo.
Yeah. All right, I'm here with Steph Gilmore, just coming fresh out of the water. Steph getting her hat right here. Put it on. Hey, so Steph, that was a tight heat coming in with, Carissa, obviously defending world champ. Does that change your approach as you're coming into the heat?
Carissa's, every time you have a heat against Carissa, you have to give it 200%. She's always on it. She's always focused, and you have to bring your A game. So I was a little bit kind of wobbly out there. I think the tide's filling up, and it's not so great, but I don't know. I figured if I could get a couple of good scores. I know she threw down an 8, but I was like, you can still beat an 8 and a 6 or 2 7s, so it's not too far from my reach, and I just kept at it and thought I'd wait for a big one to try and do a decent turn.
So this year, a lot of these big challenges haven't gone your way. This one has gone your way. What's your feelings on that?
Yeah, this is my first event all year that I've made, that I won my round 1 heat and my round 3 heat, so I'm pretty happy with that result so far. Yeah, the round 3 heats, I think I'm pretty relaxed as it is, so, when you can't lose, I really have to find myself up to remember that, or just try and make out that it is still a sudden death round and try and pretend that, you have to, go out there and give it everything you've got. So, yeah, that's it feels good to make it through that heat for sure.
Happy Steph Gilmore on to the quarterfinals, and we'll get back caught up at the desk with the boys.
Thank you very much, Kaipo. Stephanie Gilmore accomplishing a heat win in round 1 and also in round 3. Exciting to see her in this kind of form as she went on to the quarterfinals. It was an interesting matchup with headspace. We had all of our world champs in one heat. Carissa Moore, 3-time world champ, Gilmore, 6-time world champ, and Gilmore's been kind of put under the microscope this year on how her comeback trail is going to go. Hasn't been going to her standards at her pet events, and now in Rio, she's finding form where she hasn't consistently had that winning momentum.
Absolutely. I mean, it's this world title race. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So you got to keep your head in the game. We saw what happened last year with Gabriel Medina coming from nowhere, putting himself back in that world title race. Steph's right there. If she can manufacture a win here, and tell you what, by looking at the way she surfed that last heat up against Carissa Moore, she's well and truly on the way, Strider. I mean, it's to win a round 1 and round 3 heat, which she hasn't done all year. That's a good sign.
Well, it's just a matter of time before it clicked for her. She's got she's had the best performances. We've said throughout the year. She's looking amazing on her free serve. You know, she's getting tubed for 30 seconds at Kelly's wave. You know, she's got a great flow through life, and she's finally kind of transferring it over into competitive surfing again, and I like to see it. You're coming off an injury, it's not easy to get going again, but you never know when it's going to happen. That's why, like, I mean, for me, I was bummed that Kelly Slater wasn't here. I was like, this could have been the event where it clicked back in for him. So I love watching Stephanie click back in, and we'll see if she goes on a tear. She could just, you know, mow down the rest of the year.
Well, Gilmore happy to skip round 2, but round 2 is heavy to watch. It's the first elimination round where we check out the form. We kick things off with 2 talented Hawaiians, Malia Manuel, Alessa Quizan. We had the Waz and Potts go on the line for their heat wins here before this one got underway. Potts doing a good job. What do you see in Malia taking this win today?
Yeah, you know, I always knew that this little right-hander was going to suit her style of surfing, and it didn't. You know, she didn't fail me. Obviously, look at the speed that she gets over that flat section, and then that dynamic finish. I mean, perfect style, perfect timing there. A great win.
All of a sudden, the script flipped. Laura Enever, your pick, Strider, over Bianca Batendog. She looked aggressive in this heat.
She did. I feel like she's kind of turned a corner on just finally just attacking the water and doing what she needs to do to get through heat. She's still, even in the heat, made a few mistakes falling off, but it's okay. She came down with the win. She had what she needed, and she got through it.
Tatiana Weston-Webb had Coco Ho. Coco, the seasoned vet, 8-year on tour. Tati, just in her 2nd year, looked like she was in total control. Potts.
You know what? There was one good wave that came through this entire heat, and that was it right there. 7.64. You know, both young ladies were getting 4s and 3s, and then all of a sudden that wave came through. That was a difference. I mean, it's you know, unfortunate for Coco. She wasn't in the right place at the right time. Made a priority blunder right at the beginning of the heat. Changed the rhythm up and gave Tati the win.
And then a surfer that completely blew up today, Joanne DeFay, 17 plus combined total against the rookie Chelsea Tuoc Strider.
Yeah, I love the approach that she's got right now. Joanne has really turned the corner, fins out right there, throwing the tail around, really feeling like she's just getting more progressive every time we see her surf, and I like it.
We got to see that nose pick reverse at snapper from Joanne DeFay, more tail drifting snaps, and also seeing some solid technique and form throughout some of the smaller conditions, which is fun to watch. Bronte McCauley also creating a major upset, knocking out Nikki Van Dyke in a very close decision.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I picked Nikki for that one all the way, but, you know, never underestimate, you know, the McCauley. So obviously channeling Dad there this afternoon. She surfed unbelievable. I mean, her backhand is definitely a weapon of choice. I think if she sticks to that, you know, maybe mixes it up just a little bit, I think she can get, you know, find herself doing the same turn over and over again. If she can show a little bit of variety, she's going to be dangerous.
She's got a real cool attitude as well. She was almost saying, okay, maybe that went Nikki's way. She got the surprise result for herself, and she's happy to move on as she repairs that magic board. But obviously the highlighted heat of that round was seeing Carissa Moore, 3-time world champ, sent to round 2 to face off with wildcard Silvana Lima, Strider.
This was a really interesting heat. Carissa started out strong. She looked like she was just going to come out this thing with everything she had. And as you can see, blowing the tail out right there. Nice little flow down the line. A little hiccup in the middle there, kind of some bouncing. And then, you know, a nice little finish, gets it done. But she got like a 6.5. And then Silvana, boom! Buckets everywhere, comes around. Nice sweep right here. Look at the power. She's really throwing her weight into it. Even though it's not a huge amount of weight at it, proportionately, she's surfing really well. Backs it up with another one, straight up into the bowl. This was a little warble section that she had to negotiate, but then she came out in the end. Again, throws the rail carve down. So to me, 2 major maneuvers on a wave. Then behind her, bang! Huge open face, a little bit bigger wave for Carissa. Slams it again. Nice little turns there, but safety to me. Those were safe turns. She pulled down an 8.5 for that wave. In the end, the judges ended up giving it to Carissa Moore. Well, I felt like Silvana Lima surfed a really good heat. Good enough to win, and they didn't give it to her. Silvana, for me, was you know, kind of an underdog, but to me, I thought she won the heat.
Were you expecting more from Carissa at the end of that wave? Is that what you're saying? Like she could have lit it up a bit more?
I feel like she could have lit that wave up. She didn't. She kind of came down a little bit safe on the end there, and the judges still gave her an 8.5.
Potts, are you going to agree or disagree? This debate's been
You
going
know
all
what,
day today.
I think on the merit of that first turn, I think she knew she was on her way to a good score. She didn't need an 8. She needed a 7.24.
Yeah.
So I think
No,
either
I know
way,
what she needed.
I think either way she got the score.
You do.
Maybe it wasn't an 8.5. Maybe it was a high 7, but I think she still won that heat.
You can agree to disagree.
Always love to debate, especially with a heavy heat on hand.
Not that I want to take anything away from Carissa. Obviously, I love her. She's amazing.
We
But in that
understand.
heat,
Oh,
I thought
completely.
that
Are we seeing a
Silvana
U-turn
brought
right
it
there?
home.
I don't know,
No.
yeah.
I was just saying how much I respect her and how good she is, but I thought Silvana won the heat.
That's when you know you saw a good heat in pro surfing, when there's good debate at the end. Silvana showing some of her best, and she was falling a lot at the start of that matchup.
Yeah.
I love Lima creating a comeback and almost creating that major upset.
You know, that's the beauty of our sport. You know, everyone is attracted to a style or an approach, and you know that's what makes it so good. No two surfers are alike. Carissa, a different approach to Silvana. I mean, it's apples and oranges. It's like, what do you like? You
The
know,
hard part
either
about
way,
that for me,
they both
just
risk.
as just watching it, is the fact that it goes both ways, right? Some people get the nod, the other one, it goes back and forth. But for an event like this, for Silvana Lima, this is her one chance, and she didn't get the nod, which means, the next event's coming up. Maybe she's not going to get that wild card into. So it's just a little tough for me to swallow.
We'll keep that conversation open at WSL and join the conversation with the Waz and Potts. A big result for Carissa, saving herself in round 2 in this world title race. We got to see her surf again as we think about round 3. Jessie Miley-Dyer, commissioner, kept this one rolling, and Sally Fitzgibbons looked like she was having a blast. A 4-time finalist, 2-time champ in Rio. She's found some magic here at Gumari, Potts.
Yeah, I watched her doing a little warm-up before the heat, and I'll tell you what, that board under her feet is looking amazing. Sally just feels at home here in Brazil. 4 finals for 2 wins. She is looking absolutely on point to go all the way again.
Right into Conlog, waited, was selective, found herself on the best waves, and she also went for broke on a few cool-looking sections, Strider.
Yeah, she did. She threw the tail out. She even threw down a reverse in the heat. She's having fun, which is obvious. She's got a nice flow to her. A lot of times you'll see her look punchy, kind of jabbing at it. She had more of an open turn, more of a flow to her surfing in that heat, and I really liked it.
Also Tyler Wright just keeping the roll consistent, past Rio champs, dominating in round 3, Potts.
You know what? The only girl in my eyes that in the draw that can match the power of Courtney Conlog. You know, when Courtney paddled out, obviously we just saw buckets of water flying through the air. To me, Tyler Wright's the only other girl only other woman on the tour right now that can match Courtney's power, and she did exactly that.
We saw her getting some nice looks on the reform, starting off with big forehand hooks, slamming it shut on the inside corner. Remember, she had DeFay and Bronte in this matchup, and then getting into the super heat at the last moment. Carissa Moore, Gilmore, Laura Enever. It was a dream to have this matchup so early in the contest, Ryder.
Yeah, when you get into the power conversation, I understand it. There's raw power, and then there's torque power. And I think that Stephanie will match anybody on tour for that. She's got that beautiful torque carve where she actually uses her entire body and rotates and gets that core power involved, and she's really got a lot
Do you think
of
it's
core
timing?
power.
Timing, I think, is probably the issue right there with Steph. Connects perfectly with it, which makes it look really powerful.
There's timing, but there's also, she has a lot of core strength. She's been really working on it.
Really cool to see those quarterfinalists, and as we check out the Jeep leaderboard in that top 10 picture, Courtney Conlog really acting like world #1 and defending champ of the Oi Rio Pro. Is she your pick for the win, Potts?
You know what? I spoke to her after heat, and she said, I almost made that air reverse, and I think that's what, really got me excited about watching the rest of Courtney Conlog through this event. She's not going to hold back. She's going to go for it.
So also thinking about your event win, is it too early to say for you, Strider? Who are you seeing with the most form here at Gumari?
No, I feel like it's kind of a 3-horse race there for the women. You got Steph, Tyler, and Courtney.
Sally?
Actually, yeah, gosh, Sally. There's so many good women out there. What are you going to do?
But we see a domination of surfers that have done well in beach break formats in the past, all surfers that are dedicated to the world title race. The one question will be, will Carissa Moore pick up the headspace? She mentioned she was nervous against Silvana Lima. Now she has to deal with the round before the quarters.
Yeah, she does. And we saw what happened to her in round 2. She lit it up. So I've got no doubt that Carissa's going to be there when the smoke clears. The usual suspects. Can't go wrong.
Well, hope you guys had as much fun as we did today here at Gumari for the Oi Rio Pro. Join us early in the morning tomorrow. Remember, round 2 could be on for the men. We'll see you then, and enjoy WorldSurfLeague.com for now. Take care. This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League. Welcome back to the Oi Rio Pro, the fourth stop of the Samsung Galaxy Championship Tour. As we anticipate round 2 action getting started at 8:45 local time, led off by Malia Manuel and Alessa Cruzon.
Now it's the forehand versus backhand.
So come on now, what's the story?
And that is a nice big end section there.
As we look at Lima. Moore needs an answer.
We're going to see Carissa Moore, world champ, on to round number 3.
Stay with us, we're going to go into round 3 here in Rio de Janeiro.
Courtney Conlogue, big blast off the lip. Snaps right off the top